Hi, in this tutorial we're going to look at how machine code locking works in Serial Key Manager. So, from Software Protector and SKGL API, you might already be familiar with machine code locking. It's a feature that allows you to lock a specific key to one machine. So, it will only work on the machine you want the key to work on. Well, Serial Key Manager takes it even further and allows you to make some more adjustments, like the number of machines that can run on the same key, and also it allows you to use key activation, and that's what we are going to talk about today. So the first thing you have to do is to log in to Serial Key Manager, and that's because all your settings and all your keys are saved, so you don't need to worry about that you have some keys generated on one machine and some keys generated on another machine. So that's one of the benefits. So I'm going to just log into my account, and here we are. And the first thing I'm going to do, because you can actually just select a product that you've already created, but I'm going to create a new product and call it, well, we can call it machine code locking. So that's what we are talking about today, and the password can be hello world. An important thing to do here is to set this project to be public, and also we have to, if we like, we can type some description here, but that's not necessary. But important thing, put this to be public in order to allow that to happen. So the first thing then, after that we've created a product, is to create some keys, and that's where machine code locking comes into place. This is quite a familiar interface for all Software Protector users and SKGL API users. I mean, you type the number of days the key should be valid, you enter the number of keys you want to generate. A unique feature of Serial Key Manager is to take some notes. So if you want to say this is to Scott, you enter it here, and that's it. And then for this tutorial, I'm just probably going to generate one key. And where I want your attention is on this link here. It says Display Advanced Settings. If you press here, you get automatic activation. That should be set on true. And if you want to enable machine code locking, just change this from 0 to any other number. So, for instance, if you like to use machine code locking in the way that SKGL API uses machine code locking, then you would simply enter 1 here. That means only one key can run with the same key. So one machine can run with the same key. And of course you can enter any number of machines. You can say there are 5 machines that can run with the same key. And also, why this automatic activation should be enabled is because it will allow your client application to activate itself without you activating the machine code for them. And of course, if you like to do that instead, you would simply have to put this to be false. So remove the cross from this box, and then you would have to manually add perform the activation step. But I'm going to make sure that the machine will do it for me. And I'm going to enter 1 here, and I'm going to create a new key. Now we have a key that is locked to a specific machine, but it's not locked yet. It's locked when it's activated. That's what we've set. So, for instance, if we copy the key to get some details about this key, if we copy it into the box here and validate it and get some more info, we'll see that automatic activation is enabled and the maximum number of machines is 1. And since we haven't really specified allowed machines and activated machines, these are empty. So, now, in order to see how this activation works, we'll have to open our project, and we can do that in Visual Studio or any other project, because automatic activation isn't really locked to a specific platform or a specific operating system. But there is an already existing library that you can find at the link that I've provided below this video. So if you go to or you can just go to SKGL and go to Downloads and press SKGL Extension Methods. You'll see the SKGL binaries only. That's what you should download, and when you do that, you will be able to include it into your project to access these methods. But so if we just create a new project that's going to be a console application, I think that sounds like a good idea. And here now we are to use this activation feature. So why not just download the library to be able to include it? And this might take some time. We have the library, extract it somewhere, like anywhere, as long as we know where it is. So we have it here, and include it as a reference into your project. So where do we have that? Well, you can simply press Browse, and here we have the Serial Key Manager library installed. So please note that we don't really need serial key generating library yet for this to work. I'm just going to add a new namespace to make this even quicker, and that is skgl. That's simply skgl. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new, actually these methods in comparison to serial key generating library, these are they are static methods, so you don't need to create a new object in order to be able to use them. So why not look at how this is to be achieved? So first we have to collect the machine code from the user's application, or the client user application. We do it by creating a new variable, or wherever we want to store it. So machine code, and now we use skm. We type here get machine code. Well, and then what we need is a hash function. So please feel free to use any other hash function here, but I'm going to use the 8-digit long hash function, which is included into this library as well. So get machine code, this should work, and then to string. I'm sorry, this has a specific... Oh, wait, we typed the wrong thing. I'm sorry, we have to take... Yes, here's where we have the... So this is done, so now this should work. It's prompting that it's an error, but it's not an error. Great, now we can turn this off, and so we have the machine code, we have collected machine code, and actually you can pass any hash function like here. Now, so I'm just going to open the article that contains the description, and please feel free to have this article open when you work with this tutorial. Now, what we have to do is we have to collect the serial key we want to validate. So serial key, we can call it serial key is equal to the key, and actually what we can do here, we can actually type it in later, so we don't need to do it now. And the third thing is that we create a new variable called bool, so it's a boolean activate, and activate, and we use this library. We press key activation, and now we get a lot of different variables that we can use. We have PID, UID, HSUM, SID, and MID. Quite a lot of variables, and there is a description when you go to. So this is our product. Why not just, if we go to the home tab and we press online key validation, we select our product, that is machine code locking, and we press get the code, so we don't fill in anything, and we'll get a list of the variables we should use. And please note that this is also possible with, as I said, you can use other platforms to do the same thing. So as long as you are able to send a request to the server, and if you like, as I said, this is an open source library, so you'll see what you have to, where you have to send a request, and so on. And if you specify these variables, you'll be able to achieve the same effect on all machines. Well, let's now copy these details. So PID is equal to 74, and then what do we have then? We have UID, which is equal to 2. I guess we can memorize that. And then we have the third thing, which is HSum. Just the number we have to copy and paste into the application. Just make sure that we haven't entered anything incorrectly. And then the SID, that's the, as you can see on the website here. Sorry. As you can see, SID is the key that we are to validate, and MID is the machine code to activate. And it's an optional feature, so you don't, if you've set the key, the maximum number of keys to 0, the feature is going to be deactivated, and this will work on all machines. So SID is the key, and in order to get the key, well, we've specified it's the serial keys. We have it in that variable, and then machine code. That's what we have generated here for this particular machine. And then we have to have some console read line to pause this application. Now if we build this is going to be false, hopefully, if we've specified everything in the right way. Oh wait, we haven't really specified that we want to write the result. So console write line, and the result activate. So what happens? What's the result? This is hopefully going to be false. Yes, it's false, and that's great because we haven't really specified the key. And to be honest, if we would enter anything else, it should also be false. But now let's go back to the product page and press on machine code locking. That's our product. That's what it's called. We press on this key and we copy the key here. So we copy the key and we enter the key here. So that's great, I think. And if we've done everything correctly, this should be true, but I have to check the page again. Yeah, it's true. So now, every time, you can actually do this a lot of times, and since we've already, the first time you launch application from a computer, it will kind of send a request to the server telling that, okay, we have this machine, it has this machine code, and it will save that machine code. So for instance, if we go to advanced settings, that's where we have all those all these information. We have the machine code of the machine that basically of my computer specified here. And every time we validate the machine code on the same machine, it will be true. But when we change the machine, then this will hopefully be false. But it's a bit difficult to show this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simulate that I actually activated from a machine that had different machine code. So I can do that by changing this 5 here, the last 5, to 7, and by saving it. And now, if I validate the key, this is going to be false, because we've specified that we can only activate this key on one machine. And since it has already been activated on one machine, this doesn't work. Of course, we can always change this to 2, and that will allow us to activate it again. Oh wait, I think we have had too much spaces. Did we save it? Yeah, we have to save it. And we have to make sure there are no spaces here. So 1 key per space. Per line, I mean. So, it's true. Correct. So make sure every time you change something here and change the maximum number, you have to always press save, otherwise the information is not going to be saved into the database. So now it's saved, and if we F5 this, so update the page, we'll see that, oh, we have a new key. In fact, it's the same key we had before, the same machine code, and it will, of course, work again. Again and again and again, which is great. What I also can do is that I can open this activated machine, and actually, if I know that this is kind of the admin machine or something, this is the machine where I want this key to be, where that I want to allow to be activated all the time, I will have to enter it into the allowed machines. So now if we clear this again, so if we clear this box, save the settings, and validate it, it's going to be true. But now let's see if we updated this again. Let's see if we enter another machine and it has another machine code. And please note that you don't have to use this hash function as long as it is a specific any hash function. You can use MD5, you can use anything that you like. And of course, the better hash function, the better the collision probability will be, and so on. So it's up to you. It's a kind of a trade-off. But if we just enter a new machine code here, just a random machine code, and we remove my activated machines, let's imagine we've already activated 2 machines, but we have a machine code entered into the allowed machine codes. So we have this is my machine code, so of my computer, and then we have 2 others that have been activated already. If we start this again, this is going to be true, and that's because if you have keys in this part here, these are kind of exceptions. So let's see, let's do this again. I think I forgot to save this. So, and then like this, save. True, and it's going to be true. So now you can actually see how powerful this is, because it's really good in a sense that you have a lot of power on, I mean, the number of machines that can use the same key, and you can make sure that, I mean, you can have one key that works for a specific amount of computers. So if it's a enterprise license, or if it's or some 5 to 10 people organization license, and so on, it gives you a lot of power here, and everything is managed online, so you get more control over your client applications. Now let's go to the product again, and we press on the machine code locking again, and we create a new key. We call that key, so we can call it, we can't really call it anything, but we say it's to Dan instead, and we say it's going to be 50 days time limit. And of course, you know, depending on, you might already be familiar from serial key generating library that you can actually specify a feature, and then this time limit will not matter, but it has to be some number at least. And now what I can do is that I can tell the machine or the server that automatic activation should not work, but the key should be valid on one machine, or you should be able to activate it on one machine only. So I create a new key, and that's this key, and then we just make sure that we've done everything right. This is kind of a quick way to see the details of a specific key. So it's false, and it's the maximum number of machines is 1. Well, how is this going to work now? I mean, if we copy this key, if we click on this key and copy it, if we copy this key and we replace it with this one here, these are the same for every product. So for one product you will have the same configuration, so you don't have to change anything. And now let's see what happens. If we've done everything right, this should be false, and that's because we have disabled automatic activation. And because of this, we have to do it manually. So what you would have to do is you would have to go to the machine code locking page, and you would have to press on this key and press on advanced settings, and then you have to ask the person that wants to activate this key their machine code. And in this case, if I remembered it right, it was something to do with 6. So if we go to this window here and just to get the machine code, so we get the machine code here, and we ask the person to send us this machine code so that we can enter it into the activate machines, and then we can save it. And now, of course, this code is going to be, or this key is going to be activated, and then it's true. And you can actually, if your client application, if you know that the client application will not have access to internet, so if it's somewhere in a company enterprise environment, it doesn't have access to the internet, but but only to the intranet, you can create a website that has this kind of activation feature, so that they can activate it on their own, instead of even if, or of course they can ask you to activate it for them, or you can make sure that they activate on the website. But make sure that if you want the user to be able to activate it, and that means either the program activates the code, or if the user activates it on their own, so on the website I mean, then you have to put, so here in the serial key, automatic activation to be true. So that's it. And as you can see, this is quite a recent feature, and it's going to get some more changes, so to make it even more effective. So now, right now, you can kind of, I mean, it works, everything is fine, but there's going to be some more design and layout changes to make sure that you can click on a specific key, or right away enter the key into the, as you can see, the box here, and activate it right away. So all of these things are going to be done in nearest time, but at this point this feature works, and I hope you can try it out and see what you think. And please feel free to comment or contact on the link provided below this video. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you will be able to reproduce this example, and if you aren't able to reproduce this particular example, please feel free to write on the forum that is also provided below this video, or send us a message. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.